At first, it doesn't seem like a problem. You say yes because you care, you help because it's kind, you stay quiet to keep the peace, you give more, forgive faster, carry more, just to make sure no one is upset, and slowly, quietly, you begin to disappear. People-pleasing isn't just a bad habit, it's a quiet, invisible form of self-abandonment. You keep everyone else comfortable except yourself. You become the one who absorbs the discomfort so that others don't have to. And eventually the cost shows up in your energy, in your resentment, in the way you struggle to hear your own voice beneath the noise of what everyone else expects from you. If you felt that slow, quiet exhaustion from always being what others need, this message is for you. And if you're ready to stop living your life on mute, subscribe. This is where we learn to be kind without disappearing in the process, because something powerful happens when you finally stop people-pleasing. At first, it feels terrifying. Setting boundaries feels like betrayal. Saying no sounds cold. Speaking up feels selfish. You've spent so long twisting yourself into someone likable. The idea of standing still just as you are feels unfamiliar, uncomfortable, even wrong. But here's what's underneath it all. People-pleasing is not about kindness. It's about fear. The fear of being rejected, the fear of causing conflict, the fear that unless you're useful, you're not lovable. Dr. Harriet Braiker once called it the disease to please. And like any disease, it spreads into your relationships, your self-worth, your entire identity, because the more you try to be liked, the less you feel seen. And the more you try to earn love, the more you feel like you have to keep performing for it. But then, something shifts. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe it's a quiet breaking point. You realize you can't keep living this way. You're tired of filtering every word, shrinking every need, swallowing every no. You decide, gently, quietly, but clearly, to choose discomfort over resentment. And when you do, everything begins to change. You start to notice the habits, the way you smile when you're hurting, the way you agree just to avoid tension, the way you say yes when your whole body is saying no. You catch yourself, and you begin to interrupt the pattern. You say no, thank you, without over-explaining. You ask for space. You pause before you respond. You give yourself permission to be misunderstood. At first, it feels like guilt, but slowly it becomes freedom. Philosopher Alain de Botton said, "It's only when we stop trying to please everyone that we begin to hear what our own soul is trying to say." That voice, your voice, has been there all along. It just got buried beneath approval. When you stop people-pleasing, your world doesn't fall apart. It just rearranges. Yes, some people pull away, some relationships shift, some silence replaces the constant performance. But the ones who stay, they stay for the real you, not for what you give, but for who you are. You start trusting yourself again. You don't ask for permission to rest. You don't apologize for protecting your energy. You stop hustling to prove you're good enough, because deep down you begin to believe you already are. Clinical psychologist Dr. Nicole LaPera said, "People-pleasing is a trauma response. Healing means choosing yourself daily, gently, and without guilt. And choosing yourself doesn't mean becoming selfish. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means your kindness finally includes you. It means your empathy stops draining you and starts guiding you. When you stop people-pleasing, you reclaim time. You say no to things that once felt obligatory. You stop filling your calendar with guilt-driven commitments. You create space, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And in that space, you begin to remember who you were before you learned to abandon yourself. You become someone who honors their no just as much as their yes, someone who doesn't flinch at disapproval, someone who understands that peace isn't the absence of conflict, it's the presence of truth. And yes, it takes time. You'll still feel the urge to make everyone happy. You'll still have moments where guilt creeps in. But over time, that guilt gets quieter. And what takes its place is self-respect. Boundaries don't make you cold, they make you clear. And clarity is a form of love. You'll begin to see that your worth was never in your usefulness. Your enoughness was never tied to how small you could become for others. You'll stop walking on eggshells. You'll stop apologizing for taking up space. You'll stop waiting for permission to be whole, because when you finally stop people-pleasing, you don't lose love. You just lose the versions of it that were never really love to begin with. You stop chasing affection and start receiving it with boundaries, with honesty, with peace. You stop being the person everyone likes and start becoming the person you respect. And that, more than anything, is where your healing begins. If this message felt like something you've needed to hear for a long time, share it with someone who's still learning how to choose themselves. And if you're ready to keep growing in quiet, honest ways, subscribe. We're building something real here. Thank you for watching.